looking pretty good for him now. If he does get the down on Midgie after this too, this is very well played here by Saint. He's hooking him right near the gen. Is he going to be able to push him off it in time?
I don't know. You hear that thing a rocking back behind us. Yeah, he is going to be able to do it. Just in time. You're going to be able to get the 25% regression. Now you get the down onto Midgie as well. Easy decision to go for the tunnel because at this point, either... Hey, what it do, what it do? It's your boy Q, and welcome back to YouTube, and let's get ready for another trip here, back into the fog with some more OCE action. Now, the last video we saw, Owned was able to keep up their perfect season alive with their 5-set banger against Team Endless. Now, heading into week number 4, however, there were 2 other teams left other than Owned that were still undefeated. And they're going to be facing off today. That's going to be Revolution versus Genesis. 2 staples, really, in the OCE competitive scene. And this matchup here did not disappoint. Now, we are going to be getting started right away with 2 of my favorite killers to watch if you've seen my competitive tier list over here on the channel. We're going to be starting off right away with the Nurse on the Cold Tower, quickly moving to the Blight on the Blood Lodge, the Doctor on the Maurice list, Father Campbell's Chapel. Pour one out for the homie. Then, if we do need to, we're going to be seeing the Cenobite on the Wrecker's Yard and the Plague on the ARP. Don't forget every single like, comment, share. That all helps us out with that good old YouTube algorithm as we are chasing down 500 subscribers over here on the channel where we're posting DBD content literally daily, all right? If you want to keep up with what Dead by OCE has going on, as always, I'm going to have their links down in the description below. Let's go ahead and get right into this action between Revolution and Genesis. And until we do catch y'all back here for the next one, man, don't forget, with everything crazy going on in the world today, be true, be you, be sincere, game hard and love hard, all right, y'all? It's your boy Q, signing out.
For the second matchup of the evening, Revolution versus Genesis. Kicking us off, we have Tito's here on the Nurse, here on Cold Tower against the Genesis Survivor Squad. It's always great to watch these guys play. Tito's being a well-established member in this community, playing comp for a very long time. He's up here around the top end of the map, and it looks like he did spot someone crouching near a pallet.
Yeah. Ooh, but the sprint burst here to be able to build some distance, baits out the swing and miss as well, is going to prolong this first chase just a little bit, but we are going to be seeing at this point, there's the first tag, and can't help but notice again, going to be seeing the Sloppy Butcher coming out, which I think shows some confidence. I think it also shows that you anticipate that you're going to be interrupting some heals later on and getting some big value from that Sloppy Butcher as well, and this is going to be a first down around the 60-second marker.
Great first chase by both players here. Seabass baiting out that first swing was fantastic, but Tito's here able to recover the chase very quickly. He does hear this generator's got a lot of work put into it. Here goes the pop on that gen.
It's interesting here because I feel like we've seen a lot with Nurse on Cold Tower. We've seen a lot of teams opt to take the risk of the ruin, of bringing in the ruin, and I understand why. Even though sometimes it gets broken in 45 seconds, sometimes it lasts 4 to 5 minutes, and you can get some like really big value. Not needing that here, and with another down, going to have another use of that pop kick here. So understandably so. Oh, but actually, Bazzy slaps him with the D, says drop it. Gonna prolong this chase at least a little bit, but with this only being a TNL here, not much at their disposal, not much time, at least enough for generator number 1 though.
Fantastic recovery there by Tito's, and Bassi buying them just enough time to make sure that they do get that generator. Opting for a very far back hook here, but does lose another generator, so that is 2 states for 2 gens. Gonna need to start seeing a bit of a turnaround here.
Especially because Tito's does still have this 3-gen intact up on this top side of the map, and especially when you include this generator over on this left side of the map that a lot of our comp players would call 9. You can, with the nurse, basically consider this a 4-gen, a really nice 4-gen even on the coal tower, especially because the nurse has the ability to also check in on that gen upstairs in the main building, unlike a lot of other killers. We're going to be seeing the For the People getting brought out by Miji. That is going to be causing the change in the obsession here. Going to be trying to use the backside of our Pride Rock to try and buy some safety here for Bazzi, but Bazzi taking a very early hit, going to be forced to try and just shift W back towards Shadow.
And there he goes, and if he doesn't get saved here, that is a very quick kill. There may be another generator lost for this though, because they have been alone with the engines for quite some time now.
Yeah, I feel like if you were the survivors, you were hoping that you were able to get a thing here as far as, I was gonna say maybe you can get 2 people on this over left gen. That's not gonna be the case. Hopefully that does mean that Claudette here can serve some juice, and maybe we have the Nia and the Lori both split up onto some different generators. But man, a very quick down coming up from T-Doge, able to apply a Pop Goes the Weasel onto this gen, about to get another hook, going to have another Pop Goes the Weasel. The question is, are you going to be able to interrupt generator number 4 with this pop?
That is the question, and it also depends. Oh, we do see movement out here, and it looks like, yeah, he's definitely going to be able to interrupt this gen if he gets the hook in time. Only just, I would say. There goes another cycle, another pop being applied here. We do know where one of the survivors were, floating around the back of main here, probably dipped all the way down past 1. Hold it. Miji has been found. I mean, if I was in their shoes here, Miji's probably... Oh, what a hit. I was going to say he's probably got dead hard, but can't really dead hard that.
This is going to be a hook that's buried deep back in this corner of the map, and with this Pride Rock, the entry to it does kind of face the outside corner, so it will make the process of retrieving Miji off of that hook just a little bit longer. Not sure if maybe we were able to interrupt the heal. If that is the case, we are going to be seeing some value from that sloppy butcher here. Not going to be able to just have half of a reset still left on to Prixley. We are going to be seeing T-Doge though, moving just a little bit more back towards kind of like that 9 position here, trying to see, we see some scratch marks actually in the actual jungle gym itself. There's the Claudette off in the distance. I don't think T-Doge wants to allow the free unhook though.
That looks to be correct there. That could have been quite a quick down here on Prixley, but instead he is opting to make sure that this unhook comes at a cost.
And definitely like an understandable decision, right? Like you're still very firmly in control here when we talk about our gens and the progress on them. You've been able to get some, hook spread. The big thing you would really like would be if you could get Silly down. That is a fresh hook in the last fresh hook here. Wouldn't be surprised to see T-Doge, I was gonna say maybe even go for the slug here. At this point though, this is gonna be a second stage now on Miji. Really though, again, really gonna need to find Silly to make sure that that isn't 3 stages potentially setting up for an end game play.
Well, he does see some scratch marks there, and it looks like it was Prixley off in the distance of that jungle gym. Yep, looks like I was correct with that one. Silly just humping the motor all the way over at 1. Looks like he will at least be able to secure that, even if Prixley does go down. Oh no.
T-Doge in a tough situation here, kind of between everything. Here's probably the gen, I'm pretty sure. We also see off in the distance, still kind of wanting to make sure you can kind of keep an eye over there as well. There's generator number 4. This is big though, because that does mean for the killer coming out next round in Genesis, even if the survivors don't manage to get generator number 5, which is still a possibility here, you still have the potential to play into a 3-gen in the end game here. Now the question, with 3 injured survivors, with the sloppy, the Thananophobia, the question is, are we going to be able to grind out the 5th and final generator?
That was a nice dead hard by Miji here. Great little double back. Did he just end up on the boxes?
Yeah, I wasn't really sure there from looking at it, to be honest for you. It does look like we got the down here, though, on Amici, and worth noting, Silly, the last fresh hook survivor, was able to heal themselves as well.
That is correct. Quite quickly, too, there with his setup. And he is down and over, leaving this in a 2v1 with one gen remaining.
Now, do you think you risk getting the two close together for a reset, and the fact that, you know, Prixley would be giving away the, well, I guess it doesn't matter. I was gonna say giving away the position with the Grunts of Pain. Instead, though, this is gonna be Silly, the fresh hook survivor, getting found by T-Doge. Does look like we're going for a slug play here, and understandable, right? If you could shut this thing down before the 5th gen pops, that does hand over a pretty clear condition to your survivors coming out here in trial number 2.
Oh, absolutely. Although you'd be crazy doing that middle building gen upstairs against a nurse, especially with these add-ons. It's a similar thing to as you see them in Father Campbell's middle generator against a nurse. It's a terrifying prospect.
And there is Prixley getting spotted off in the distance. Does have the time to be able to get the Nia up off of the ground. However, with the pickup just now coming in, it does give the location away. Now going to be seeing the simple one blink here as well to be able to establish the down. You know where both slugs are, so as long as you can secure them here, and we aren't looking at a potential deliverance or anything, so I don't think we've seen that thus far this trial. This is going to be the 4K at 4 gens complete. And I know it's easy, it's like easier said than done, but you are handing over the win condition to your survivors where all you have to do is simply get the gens done.
Now the real question is, does Silly have deliverance?
This could get interesting, right? Because, I mean, if that's the case, you could go for the deliverance right as the hook's about to come across. The only thing is, the hatch wouldn't spawn right away. I think T-Doge would still have the time to be able to close that distance and get to the hatch, but it is definitely worth the shot if that's the case. If there's going to be a deliverance, you got to do it now, though, and it doesn't look like that's the case. So, chat, I'm not sure what resolution y'all are watching this in.
Ooh!
Wait.
He just Kobe'd.
So for those wondering as far as the what the situation was there, you're allowed to try and Kobe to progress the game if you're surrendering, but if you manage to get the Kobe, you can't move. So that's why we just saw Silly just standing there. So yeah, so sorry to be interrupted. Not sure what resolution y'all are watching this in chat. That does indeed look like a 4K to me, and especially doing it 4 gens complete. Really good job starting off and setting the pace here for Revolution.
Absolutely. Rev now does, as you said, have the win condition set. All they have to do is just play to the gens. If they get 5, they win the first set. Moving into set 2 with the momentum with Blight on Blood Lodge. But let's see how this plays out. We will see you all after a brief break as we swap sides.
All right, let's go ahead and take another trip here back into the fog. Trial number 2 between Revolution and Genesis here, and we are going to be seeing Bazzi out for Team Genesis, currently needing to get the 4K before the 4th gen pops here if you're wanting to take set point number 1. So a steep condition we are going to be seeing, though, coming in with the corrupt intervention. Does have the ruin as well. The question is, how long does the ruin stand? That's going to be a big swing and miss, because that allows us to get access to the shack, allows us to get some line of sight blockers here, which just prolongs this first chase.
Blip putting in work. Does manage to get snagged here in this jungle gym, but let's see what he's able to do with the distance from the hit. Nice little double back, but now he is down very fast, early down here for Seabass, which is definitely what they need if they want to secure this first set. Oh, and there goes Ruin.
It is going to be first hook getting popped, but you'd mentioned the ruin already being down and out. That's going to be tough here. We're talking about being around the 80-second mark, 85-second mark here at this point. We'll see the pop going into this generator here. So that is going to be a 25% instant regression. If anyone's currently working on a gen, it is going to be slowed down by 5% thanks to that banana folk. And where this hook is, this is going to be really tough for our survivor right now.
Absolutely. Seabass is out here on the offensive, trying to push some people off. Bear with us as we just sort out some technical difficulties, and we come back to Blight being saved and hit with the full of people as well.
And that here should allow us for a little bit longer of a process, because it does look like Bazzi is indeed going to go for the tunnel out. And understandably so, right? You've already lost your ruin. You've lost your corrupt. You know that you've got a very steep condition here, making sure that you can't allow a single, not only a single survivor out the door, you can't even allow the 5th gen to pop if you want to just simply tie the set. But if Lori can serve some juice, the question is, how much time and how many gens do you get out of it?
Yeah, Lori is putting in a lot of work here, playing around the locker very well to get those little locker juices here when they go for the blinks. Do they have the DS? No, they don't.
DS, no pallet save enjoyers.
Let's see, as Seabass flicks his mouse around, let's see what the spread is looking like here for the gens. We've got one in the main building here still, which is going in to investigate. And he does catch Toddy off. Oh no, he is injured. He has no more dead hard too. He's running all the way into the far corner here. 10, sorry. Nice blink and nice hit.
Really well done here by Bazzi. This is now going to be another hook into this top left corner. Of course, this gen is already complete, so that does mean the 3 gen that maybe Bazzi was going to try and rely on for some pressure to at least prevent the 5th gen popping could potentially now be down and out. The question is this a little bit of a 3 gen that we can kind of consider on this bottom side of the map? Close to being broken up. Doesn't sound like there's any progress on the middlemost gen. Actually, you can even consider it a 4 gen, really, I guess, for real. But we're going to be noticing this generator over by Pride Rock has a decent amount of progress on it, sitting close to around the 40% prior to that pop goes the weasel here. But Bazzi not able to find anyone. The survivor's doing a good job of playing rather smart and immersed here.
It looks like it's now on fight and seek as Dweebe does get found here by Bazzi, and he's running straight down towards 1. Let's see how he maintains this chase. Great double back, but straight back into him. He did it just slightly too early. He's going to commit to him by the looks of this as he runs straight into the good old corner. Oh, solid single blink hit. Very nicely done here by Seabass. They have made the save here on T-Doge as well. But we haven't seen another gen pop in quite some time. But as you said before, Pride Rock was at about 40% before it got hit by that pop result. So likely, yeah, it looks like he's going to head straight back there to check that progress.
Now here at this point, at least you've been able to spread some pressure where you would really like to make sure you get, I mean, I guess it really doesn't matter when you get the fresh hooks, because you do need to make sure you're getting the 4K before the 5th gen pops at minimum for the tie here. But Bazzi still only at this point sitting around 4 hook states, really needs to get the ball rolling. Not sure if maybe slugging may be an option once we do establish a down. Now at least getting the tag onto Saint. Saint is the fresh hook survivor, so that's at least a benefit for you. But with this being out on the edge map here, I can't help but wonder if that might have bought us enough time for generator number 4 at least.
It'd be cutting it pretty close, because where they got that unhook before and they reset Dweebo, they would have to go all the way to the middle gen. They are dangerously veering into the territory. They could be close to a 3 gen as well, because you see we've got the one here in the shack, the other one in the jungle gym where Blip was looping around before as well, and we see the scratch marks near that too. It looks like there's even Tito's that was near here, because there was some remnants of blood on the ground near that generator.
Interesting though, we do see Bazzi, instead of trying to find where the blood trails went, Instead, doubles right back here to the hook, finds Dweebe, going for the save, going to put at least Dweebe down on the ground here. Not sure if there is a borrowed time, not even going to be concerned about it here. Instead, just going to go for the quick pickup here. The problem is there's still a couple of survivors, or at least one, most importantly, or most notably, I should say, being Blip, we haven't seen for a while. Not sure if they've just been able to vibe on a generator up here on this top side of the map. Yeah, there's going to be the gen up in main actually now getting complete. They have played themselves into a 3-gen here, though, so Bazzy still has a chance to at least force the tie, potentially.
That is correct. They're playing a very risky game here now. It all depends though on how the survivors do play this out. They are trying to run him away from the 3-gen. It looks like he is committing to Dweebe. I mean, it is a nurse, so even if he does get the down here in the corner, you can at least, there is a hook quite close, and he can close the distance back to his 3-gen. And they have reset too.
Oh, and she selects him with the D.
Fantastic work. Dweebe just buying up as much time as possible, keeping the chase as far away from those active gens as possible.
Now, if you can keep this chase going, even just, 10, 15 seconds, because you can anticipate that we probably have 2 of these 3 fully healthy survivors across the map. Now CS going for the comp corner all the way up here on this top side of the map. Who knows? Maybe even all 3 survivors grouped up together on one of these gens across the way, trying to slam that thing out. Of course, the 5th gen would be the win condition here for our survivors from Rev here in set number 1. That is going to be the elimination, and there it is. Yep.
Fantastic work. That was very, very well played here by Revolution. Dweebe sacrificing himself to buy just enough time for these guys to be able to finish this off. Couple little clickies here from Blip as he's finally been rediscovered 5 gens later.
Yeah, Blip did a very, very good job of, just being able to kind of play out of sight, out of mind. Now with the split doors here, it looks like Rev might even be able to get some stages out. And although that doesn't affect the scoreboard so much as the fact that it's still going to be a 1-0 after set number 1, it is a little bit of a morale booster to be able to win set number 1 in a little bit more convincing of a fashion, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Whenever, even though you secure the win, trying to get a few people out, or, even playing a little bit more fun, like if someone gets hooked, actually going in to try and get more risky unhooks, that sort of thing. It's a little bit more fun, and it definitely makes you feel a bit better. But these doors are, they're nasty.
They're really tough. Yeah, we do see some scratch marks heading towards at least the door up here by that Pride Rock. But that's really the only sign of any survivors just quite yet. Bazzy just has the ability to kind of blink back and forth. At least the full send to this door here should allow our survivors to attack that one up on the top side of our map there in the top left. And if Nia can serve juice and even just bait out just one simple swing and miss, might even buy us the distance for Nia to get out here.
That was interesting.
You listen, man, it's behavior. We don't ask questions. You know what I'm saying?
the flashlight trying to prevent him blinking as much as he can. Oh no, the fatigue. Keep that beamer on him. Oh, he's blinded.
No, the survivor's out the door. What a beautiful play with the flashlight here. That's going to be huge momentum. I would imagine that the Discord right now for the boys in Rev is absolutely off the chain. That was huge.
Oh, absolutely. That was such a that was just amazing team play here. Blip securing the escape for Tito's with that flashlight and the body blocks by Saint as well. Fantastic gameplay. Absolutely great work. And that is Rev securing the first set here against Genesis on the Nurse. We're going to be back with you shortly with Blight on Blood Lodge as well, but we will be back after a brief break. Welcome back, folks. This is round 2 of the matchup between Rev and Genesis. We have Midgie here playing Blight for us on Blood Lodge. So we do get to see the speedy Blight coming out here, running off into the sunset, checking out these corrected sides for some spoilers. I'm sure that most of you are aware, one of the, not the last 1v1 competition, but the one before it, Midgie was the winner here with his impressive Blight gameplay. So let's see if he can bring that same energy to this match here.
Yeah, it should be interesting here. And honestly, I love, first off, anybody who's been through the channel over on YouTube and seen the tier list knows how much I love watching Blight. But recently when we talk about in like the NAEU scene, we saw DBE make this actually the home of the Blight. And when we talk about Blight on Bloodlot, it's interesting because there's definitely some interesting blood, like the bump logics through the middle, but I feel like it's a nice balanced map. If you're able to be smart as the survivor squads, you can really take chases in different parts, use those resources, and still be able to grind out the gens. And the fact that they've already cleansed Ruin as well, really good start.
Oh, absolutely. That has certainly helped them in regards to this gen battle as well. And there goes the firecracker. And Shack Pellet is gone. Blip is off on another first chase for this match. Oh, he's dropping everything.
Now, here's where things can get interesting because you do have quite a few of these filler pallets that are in the middle. If you do manage to get a little reckless with throwing these pallets during the early portion, if you can get, let's say, at least one gen before the down and then get another one as the survivor hangs, you can move in and kind of counter that. But with this down being in the uncorrupted portion of the map, this could be tough.
This is looking very tough here for them. But let's see what happens after he does get this hook on Blair. Where will he go with this? Moving in with pop on this gen that is about 70-ish, but he does lose another gen.
So it's interesting here because we had seen right around the time that the hook came in, the corrupt was expired on these gens. You've got the uncorrupt right on the edge where the uncorrupt gens were, right on the edge of where this hook is. And we know that that generator that's closest to middle has some pretty minimal progress. Sounds like the other one doesn't have too much progress. So it looks like Miji going to feel comfortable vibing in this back corner. Nice flick to get the hit onto the survivor that was going for the unhook. Does look like here now, though, going to continue chasing. Oh, getting caught, I think, was expecting the survivor hanging out there, and this could buy time for at least generator number 2.
Ooh, wow, that is unlucky for Midgie, but great plays here by Blip so far. And he's down. What reaction time here to get the flick and the hit on that bounce. Now, does Blip have DS?
Oh, and she slaps him with the D. Lori says, drop it. Now going to cause Miji here to build some distance. And Blip, honestly, doing a really good job. I mean, honestly, he's doing a great job just keeping the Lori up here on their feet, able to get at least time for generator number 2. There's generator number 3. Our survivors really pushing back.
These gens are flying off the shelves here. And so are the pellets too. Tito's does get a reset here. He's finally breaking away from Blip. Looks like Midgie's learned his lesson here, but he has created some nice little dead zones here in the center of the map.
Not sure if we thought we saw someone back here, but this is going to be some time wasted as we see those lethal rushes expire, which is going to cause the cooldown. It means we don't have those lethal rushes available, but you will see the 3-gen still pretty well intact. And with this being a Blight, you can still monitor even this further gen over here, kind of in this top right position. We do see some scratch marks heading over towards the fun bus. That is going to be the Ace taking a tag on the backside here. Now going to be moving up into the 4 lane. Miji does have to make a decision because, of course, Ace trying to pull this aggro away from the rest of the generators. Able to get the down, though, really well.
Very nice play. If I'm not mistaken, it did look like Saint did go for a bit. No more progress on that gen. Oh, but definitely some here on Pride Rock.
Generator too, that thing's a knockin', was just about ready to get to poppin'. 25% instant regression though will knock that below the 75% marker, and we're not really seeing, oh, we do see some scratch marks actually on the backside of our TNL here. Not exactly sure what survivor that was. I think that was the Claudette, which is saying, yeah, we had seen use, I think that was a Lithe, to be able to build some distance over here towards the fun bus. And now at this point also going to be seeing the reset on to Saint. Unfortunate collision. That's really tough.
Yep, Shaq is made of butter, unfortunately. And now, who are we chasing here? He has lost sight of them though. Midgie must be feeling a little bit of the pressure here as he is rushing around. He's losing these people very quickly. You hear that gen on Pride Rock is getting worked on again. It looks, oh, okay, you just had a double bounce there. Some very interesting bumps are happening here. Oh, and he just misses that swing, but he does stumble across Sane and Saint.
This is going to be tough. I mean, we are at the TNL here. The TNL not exactly the strongest tile to be able to work with. It's very mind gameable. Plus, when you add in the fact that you have the lethal rushes, tough to be hanging around in as a survivor. We see at least the first tag come in. We see a little head nod trying to bait out the pallet. Now going to be doing the lethal rush. Makes a collision on the outside wall. Trying to go for a flick here to at least get the pallet out of the way. I do believe we've done a good job. Claudette's a ninja.
Yeah,
no. Okay, she's all right. She's on the edge map. Okay, okay.
And there goes Sane.
That was a 4th gen though, popping across the way. So, I mean, do you think there's how close do you think we are to seeing that 5th and final gen popping as the real?
Yeah, then.
There it is.
He is on 3 fresh hooks, but I would say that, yeah, there we go. There's one going for the save, probably one already on that door. It's going to be rough. It'll take a lot here for Midgie to be able to secure a kill at least for this.
Now we're going to be seeing here, you get the tag onto the lorry. That's Blip, gets stunned stupid, plus 10 wood added to the face. Blip is one of the survivors that you have already down. So this is only going to be 2 stages potentially secured here in the end game. Ideally, you would like to find T-Doge. Wouldn't be surprised though if T-Doge is the one that we just saw take the hit here. We're going to be seeing a little bit of the memes there at the end of trial number 1. But man, the survivors from Rev showed up to play today, really limiting the amount of stages that they hand over. Talking about a big old whopping 7 stages out the door here. So that's going to result in trial number 3 having a score of Genesis out here on the killer side, simply getting 12 points versus Revolution walking away with 17.
And the big thing on this too, this is Genesis' pick as well, which has made it a lot harder for them. Hopefully though, we do see a stronger performance there on their survivor side. Otherwise, they're going to be giving up a 2nd set already to Rev, and it's going to be a massive uphill climb, and we'd have to see a reverse sweep for them to be able to secure the dub for tonight.
Yeah, so we're going to have to see. I mean, right now, the pressure really being shifted on to the survivors here from Genesis. So we're going to see how they respond here in trial number 4 after a very quick break. All right, let's get ready for another trip here back into the fog. Trial number 4 here between Rev and Genesis. And Genesis at the risk of going down 2-0 here, really looking to lean on their survivors. On the flip side here, Saint looking to keep the pedal down to the metal here for Team Rev on the Blight. Looks like we found ourselves a survivor relatively quickly here as well. You can see coming in with some confidence, not needing the assistance of a ruin.
It's just out here, ready to rock with a pretty interesting perk build here. And we have already lost Shack Pallet, and great sidesteps there by Seabass. So putting up a fantastic chase here to start the match. Oh, he's walked further out, back towards the edge of the map here, towards an active gen, but luckily nobody is on this, so nobody's getting interrupted just yet. Safe for bump logic instead of hugging that car there. Very well played. Oh, Bassy opting to greed that pallet. Just the hook to bounce off too. Oh, so close.
Got the moves like Jagger here, able to stay up vertical, continue this chase. And I like this, right? You take the chase here in the outskirt of the map. Wouldn't be surprised if they are doing those gens over by Shaq. There's at least one of them. Wouldn't be surprised if this one is a little bit closer to us from Shaq. Also getting worked on. Nice juice getting served by Bazzi right now. That is going to allow for us to continue this chase. There is going to be a lorry moving in for the protection hit.
Oh my lord. Very well played.
Corner strap.
Yeah, he is down and out here in the corner with a very interesting build. A super strong build. He has got the down and attack here on Midgie at the cost of 2 gens though.
2 gens, and we know that the lorry had left a gen that was around, what, 20-25% to come in for that protection hit as well. So
yeah,
they've got a decent pressure on that, and that's the last gen that's kind of linked into a 3 gen right now into a map. So if Saint can't keep this in attack here, going to be at risk of allowing the 7 stages, or well, 8 stages out the door that you don't want to happen.
He is patrolling this pretty well. I would expect, yeah, these generators that are off in the distance are going to pop pretty quickly. That one far off there, I wouldn't be surprised if that was going to go in the next 10 seconds. Oh, he does see him going in for the save. Deciding to go for the tunnel here on the CDS. Oh, there's the dead hard. Nice spin, but down he goes. Will he risk the DS? Yes, he will.
He goes for the immediate pickup. Yeah, no DS here, so this is going to be hook stage number 2 back here by main, and this is tough because there's only 2 hook stages thus far in the game. We know that this generator has a whole lot of progress on it. We're going to be seeing that kick coming in here from the pop, but that's not a part of the 3 gen that's still intact back by Shaq. So I'm not sure if we have one of the gens over there that has a decent amount of progress here. Oh, nice work around the pallet space here, at least as far as Versili. Does look like our Blight going to take the time to check in on the hook. There is a Claudette here, though. That's risky.
Injured Claudie. Straight down, straight up on that hook. He knows that Bassy doesn't have DS. So this is a... Oh, how is he playing this? Is he going wide around?
I think he's trying to see if he can track Bazzi down. I'm not sure if he's been able to do so. I mean, we do see that Bazzi is over here in the 4 lane. Now I'm going to be seeing Bazzi, though. Yeah, it has actually been found. This is going to be tough. You got the pallet here, but that's not... Oh,
down he goes.
Then that happened.
Even though he gets the kill here and it puts it into a 3v1, that he has lost 3 gens already. He's so far had
4 gens.
Yeah, oh, yep, there we go. And he's only had 1 other fresh hook, so he's going to have to start laying on at least some of these fresh hooks so that he does get points. Brixley goes down. Oh, he doesn't risk the DS on this one, though.
I think right now you wanted to make sure that you get the pop in. And I think the other thing is Saint realizing the situation that you're in. And he slaps him with the D, says drop it. That's going to be big here because this is going to prolong this chase right now. Realistically, Saint should be looking for Silly or Miji because that would be your tie condition since they're free. They are like they're fresh hooks, but this down here does mean they'll have to get the save before the out. I think.
This will know in just a second when this scoreboard updates. Oh, he's in trouble. He does see Midgie over there. And he's going to push this generator. I think we did see Silly in the corner of our eye there at the 4 lane.
This is tough. You need pretty well a perfect game from here on out. Lori already coming in. Oh, able to bait out the swing and miss. We can probably assume that's a borrowed time hit. There's going to be the hit on to Miji. Going to continue the tunnel out process on to Prixley, though, and understandable. One more hook state turns this thing into the 2v1. Plus, we still are able to try and find one last survivor in the end game. Gets done stupid, says our Claudette. Able to apply plus 10 wood to the forehead. Working our way around here, though. And that is going to be the down. Really well done.
And he knows there's no more DS. This is looking pretty good for him now. If he does get the down on Midgie after this too, this is very well played here by Saint. He's hooking him right near the gen. Is he going to be able to push him off it in time?
I don't know. You hear that thing rocking back behind us. Yeah, he is going to be able to do it. Just in time here. Going to be able to get the 25% regression. Now you get the down onto Miji as well. Easy decision to go for the tunnel because at this point either of the next hooks does give you the win condition, I do believe. So if Miji has the unbreakable, you can at least bait that out here.
Oh, absolutely. Great hit onto Silly by Saint. He is playing this very well. It's nice and calmly going. Great stun by Silly.
Yeah, well done. I was going to say kind of a tough spawn with having this pallet kind of be in between the two shorter walls with kind of the RNG on that 4 lane, but able to get some value there. We see trying to close the distance. Not sure if maybe trying to go for a quick pickup to maybe then be able to split ways, but that is going to be the down here on to Silly. And this is going to be Revolution looking to wrap up set number 2 here. Now moving into a 2-0. This is the Battle of Titans. I was expecting a 1-1 heading into set 3. Right now, Genesis going to have a whole lot of pressure heading into the Doctor on Father Campbell's Chapel.
Absolutely, and going into a team like Revolution on an M1 as an M1 killer on Father Campbell's is going to be super hard. I mean, the great news is though that things like Dead Man Switch aren't banned, so you can have a lot of gen pressure, realistically, but it's going to be a very hard matchup, especially against a seasoned team like this.
And wow, you know, I mean, I know that the Revs, the OGs, right? And I think when I was looking at this heading into the week, I would have gave Rev the nod for who was probably going to be coming out on top. But for Revolution to come out through these first 2 sets and really take control here, this downtime heading into set number 3, Genesis really got to come together here and make sure that they put their best foot forward on this set, especially because they're going to be out on the survivor side again too. So
absolutely, it's going to be a very scary situation there for them. But I do like watching a little bit of the Herman Kane. It'll be interesting to see how these sides do play it out, but it was Genesis' pick as well, so maybe this will be their saving grace and we see it go into a revert sweep.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of saw that we used in the back end of the first matchup, so I mean, there is a team that can do it, right? Genesis does have a lot of experience, so we're going to have to see how they respond. Again, we're going to be moving into the Doctor on Father Campbell's Chapel, and we will be bringing that to y'all after a very quick break.
Welcome back, folks, to round 3 of the matchup between Genesis and Rev. Sorry about the long delay. We actually had 2 resets, which is putting Genesis starting with a -6, unfortunately, with Dweebe stepping in here as the killer to kick things off. Getting blinded here by a great firecracker. But it is a very rough start for these boys here in Survivor.
Yeah, especially because you were really needing to turn things around here in set number 3, right? We've seen Revolution be able to jump out to the 2-0 lead when we talk about on the set points. Now needing set number 3, starting in the hole in the hole by 6 points, and you're starting on the survivor side as well, where of course less points are available. It really puts the pressure on you when it comes to this trial. We are going to be seeing, though, at least Miji able to stay upright, able to make it to this filler pallet. We've also got an Ace moving in for a protection hit. Ace did leave a gen that had quite a bit of progress, and we see, I think that was this one right here, and also Claudette across the way on a gen with a lot of progress as well. So our survivors showing some fight to start off the trial.
Yeah, they are. They're putting up a fight here, but it's going to be so hard for them to be able to secure this to keep their hopes alive for this matchup. Looks like we will see the first down 2 onto Miji as well. First down with correct, still up 2, and we do see our first gen popping off in the distance.
So now the question is how much progress is on these other gens, and yeah, there it is, gen number 2 already getting complete. We don't really hear any progress on this top mid gen. Nice reach through the window. I guess our homie Dweebe got the long bat here, able to get the M1, so that is going to cause Seabass here to need to retreat. Will probably require Silly and Prixley both to need to come in here for the save, which means really no objective work getting done. This is tough.
This is looking very tough, and even with the 2 gens finished, they're still in a minus score. It is, that is unfortunate.
And now it's like it's tough, right? Because it looks like Dweebe is going to be more than happy to just at least camp this thing out into a second stage. Understandably so, right? You were able to get the tag onto the Ace as they were moving in for the single unhook. We are going to be seeing, though, now at this point, Claudette and the Ace both moving in here. And I feel like with the second stage just now being forced, oh no, with the Claudette taking a hit as well, that means the question is, where's Silly, right? Because if Silly's on a gen, now they are probably going to be required to move in, or you get a reset right now by Prixley through the sloppy butcher, means you hope you don't get interrupted. Then you're basically coming in for a last second full send onto this hook stage, and I don't even know if we get a third gen because of it.
Yeah, I don't think so. Like, they're going to have to, that first attempt at the double dive on that hook was really not as sharp as we've seen them in the past. It looks like they're a little bit more coordinated now, but I don't think they're going to be able to do this in time.
We see the body block coming in here to at least allow, oh, we see though, now Ace moving in. Not sure if that's our borrowed time player. Could be simply just going for the trade. It looks like our killer here going to be more than happy and more than content to go ahead and just take the trade here, because that is an additional fresh hook here. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe our 3 gen is still on tack on the circus side as well. So you'll be more than fine.
Yeah, we will need to double check to see this 3 gen. But this now does put them at 0 points. I'm still looking at the hook here. There we go. Silly getting reset here.
And it's going to be away from the hook, which makes me wonder, especially with Prixley being spotted with the static blast there, if our survivors are going to have the time to get Bazzy off of the hook before a second stage is forced. We can see on the timer here down to around, I'd say less than 15 seconds, maybe even getting close to the 10 seconds here. We are going to see at least the Claudette able to avoid the first shot. Let's save before second stage.
Unlucky. Just applying those madness stacks now as well. Let's see if he flicks around if we've still got the 3 gen in place.
Yeah, we can see on the circus side we still have it. Even a 4 gen, when you can consider this like top mid gen kind of being so close to it too, right? Especially with that static blast, you can get that constant reading up there. I mean, Dweebe in a great spot. I mean, it looks like we might have had Alexa set a timer for 60 seconds potentially after the down there, just so you don't have to worry about the decisive strike, which would kind of make sense. If you have somebody moving in without borrowed time, it's kind of easy to predict that that's what the reason why, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it looks like he's starting to get a bit impatient with. He's like, oh, is it now? Is it now?
Yeah.
I know it's gone now, but does he?
I mean, the broken status is gone. Usually that's enough to give people some indication. I wonder if maybe Dweebe might be worried that there is some sort of vigil or something in play that could have at least gotten the broken status gone a little bit sooner, because usually that's an easy indicator to just simply go for the pickup at that point. But we are going to see with those two survivors that were paired up on the gen up top mid, that 4th gen gets complete. But the 3 gen over here on the circus side still intact, and that's where your hooked survivor is.
Yeah, this is looking rough. They've finished 4 gens, which puts them at 2 points. It's going to take a miracle for them to recover this. And Dweebe is just putting out the hurt, just zapping left, right, and center. Just applying the madness stacks to make sure it's just harder and harder to save Bassett here on this hook. And Silly's now hit tier 3. Oh no! They went for the unhook, and they instead went for the heal, which costs the down. That is another fresh hook here for Dweebe.
Now, the good news is, I mean, since it is a fresh hook, you do have plenty of a hang time, and we had checked in with the Claudette earlier. They are just, doing the easy job as the survivor, right? Holding M1, hitting some skill checks. We see that 3rd piston starting to get a little motion to it, so we do know that it's over the 50% mark now. Also,
DMS.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, they just, they know they can't work on it, so they might as well heal. Ninja running around in that tier 3. At least they are getting some resets out of it. They are still finding some value. Midgey's just trying to do something to get this unhook, I think. Although I don't feel like he's being very productive here on that side.
Yeah, unfortunately though, I mean, with the 1 gen that we can probably assume had the most progress being covered by the Deadman switch, I mean, wasn't much else to be done. We do see those survivors though are paired up across the map. There it is, generator number 5 here, now also getting the save as well. That's the Noed though, ace in the hole.
Yeah, this one I think is a bit of a rush. Bassie's now down. Does see them on the door. He's not going to have much of a chance to interrupt them, really. He may be able to get the kill here on Silly. Down he goes.
Now, one thing working in the survivor's favor is over the course of this trial, Prixley was not hooked. So that's going to be some big escape points there, which are going to essentially end up making up for not quite the penalties, but almost the penalties, which means really still the win condition, meaning that you're going to need to make sure that you can shut this game down before the 5th gen pops, if I'm not mistaken. Right?
From my understanding that, yeah, I'd say so. If the 5th gen pops, that's, 10 points. Yeah. It's looking pretty scary for them.
And this isn't the 3rd and decisive set. Like, we're heading into what could literally be the last trial, and what I think a lot of us were expecting to be a very close matchup. Right now, Genesis on the ropes. I mean, it's this time between these trials is going to be very, very important for these two teams. Well, mostly for Genesis.
Absolutely. I'm very interested to see how these guys will approach this this second half of the third set. As we get this set up for you, though, we'll have a brief break and see you momentarily.
All right, let's go ahead and take another trip here back into the fog. Trial number 6 between Revolution and Genesis. And if we're being honest, right now, Genesis with their backs up against the wall, relying on Bazzi to basically need to come out here and get the 4K, I think, before the last gen pops or something like that. The win condition is kind of weird with the penalties, the changes to the point differences, but you're right around needing a 4K on Father Campbell's Chapel for the Doctor. A very tall task, but we do see starting off Chase, we do have ourselves a survivor relatively early. That's a hit onto Sane across the way. And
we will get back to the action momentarily by the looks of this. There we go. Yeah, we've got Saint here coming in to give the body blocks here to Sane. Sane is already in that tier 3 madness. Keeping this chase here around the carnival side. Oh, the bamboozle vault. Show us the leg, Herman. Down he goes.
Saw Jake try to take the protection hit, not going to be able to do so. Bazzi going to be able to get our first hook. We do know that we had one survivor that was pushing that top engine. I think it was the Jake who inevitably ended up moving in for that protection hit. So not sure if we'll have enough time to see our first gen complete. We do see the pain resonance coming into play, and I'll tell you what, if Bazzi can get to a point in the game where we're getting a nice combo of the pain resonance and pop really working together, this could be what you need to get the result you're looking for.
Oh, absolutely. We do hear them working on that middle gen again. Fakes the jump down to see if he can get them to double back. Jumps out the window straight onto Blip's forehead. That was a great little prediction here. Oh, Toddy takes that hit here, and we do have one gen done. All it takes now is for these survivors just to do 4 more gens, and that should signal the end of this.
See that Blip was able to get the reset onto themselves here to be able to set up for a protection hit. But when this protection hit does come out, we are back to the point where all 4 survivors are injured. Maybe even some potential snowball, potential here. We are going to be seeing, though, Dwight just going to hold Shift W, moving all the way back towards the shack here. Bazzi's going to fake at the window first here. Now going to be using the shock here to at least get a little bit of information. I think that pallet still ends up going down. We are going to be seeing generator number 2 getting complete off in the distance. Looks like we're prioritizing gens over friends things as we have gens popping and no resets coming across.
That is correct. The boys here on the left know their win condition. They know that if they smash out these gens before the 4K hits... Oh, Toddy with the quick reset. But yeah, if they smash out these gens, that's their win condition. We see him moving across probably for a pain resonance hook. Let's see. Another reset here. No screams on that gen, but he does know which one is the most progressed. We do see some scratch marks moving up here in the mid.
Trying to think, have we had any screams on either of the pain resonance yet, or have they just simply been like dry damages?
On the first one, we did get a scream. Okay. Insane has been saved, and Toddy just got put into tier 3 off that static blast. Blip looks like they're here to try and keep Sane alive as long as possible with the 3rd gen popping here.
Now here comes that M1 across onto Blip. So that does now mean back again to the point. We have 3 survivors injured across the board. Only 2 hook states, though, in exchange for the 3 generators thus far. Going to be seeing Sane jumping into the locker. Does get snatched out here. This is going to be another hook state here. I do believe that this was the pain resonance hook that we had used last time. Yeah, now going to be getting that reading across the way. That's going to be the elimination on to Sane here, but we still have 3 fresh hook survivors.
Yeah, it's getting down to the wire. Seabass is putting in as much effort as he can, but he still needs to hold off on he needs to keep these 2 gens safe. He has found these people. Pal getting thrown as well. Must be a balanced play here by Blip.
Ooh.
Just misses that shot. Very close.
Good shock there, though. It's gonna prevent the vault here. This time does get the vault, but it is unfortunately right into the face of Bazzy. So that is going to be a down on the Blip. It is going to be the fresh hook onto the Jake here. And it is going to be back more towards the circus side of the map where we have a couple of gens to monitor. No real 3 gen intact, but they are kind of in line along the long wall of the map here. So I guess you can kind of consider a 3 gen maybe.
Need to be close. It's going to be interesting to see how they do this. Blip has been saved. Apply pop onto this far gen, which was probably about 60-ish%. Going out. Doesn't find anyone with that. But he does hear Blip in the distance screaming.
Now this is tough because the survivors got to really put together an approach. They've got time on their side, but I don't know if the resources are quite on their side, right?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you here. Like they may have underestimated Seabass's ability here to put in a bit of pain. Especially because he knows he doesn't have to worry about anything like Dead Hard or anything like that. So, you know, he doesn't have to bait out hits or bait it out or anything like that. He can just play it a lot safer. He does have balance there. Oh, he still hits him. Flips him with that shock. Now there's 1 generator left. Will they finish this before the 4K happens? Because if I'm not mistaken, this is Blip out of the game.
Blip will have 1 more hook stage here. This will be the 2nd stage onto Blip here at this point. We are kind of far. Oh!
Ooh.
Wait, was that a... Oh, that's a head-on with the save! And the firecracker as well. Absolutely insane here from Rev.
Very well played there by Titosh. Very well played. Blip's still in the game. And we've got the bodies coming in now to make sure that he stays alive. While I'm assuming Saint is just absolutely grinding out on these engines.
There's going to be Ash at least taking the hits. That does again lead us back to the point where we have 3 injured survivors. And we are going to be continuing this chase here with Blip, but there it is, generator number 5, the adrenaline value as well. And I believe with that generator being complete by our survivors, that should be Revolution wrapping things up in surprising fashion, might I add, in a 3-0 set score here against Team Genesis.
Oh, that being said, there is still only a 10-point difference. Just looking at the score now.
Yeah, but we only have 8 stages available, right?
Yeah. Looks like that is going to signal the end of that, unless they want to try and come in and go for the save.
Yeah, as I say, I feel like with the score where it's at, you just go ahead and take the... I mean, we've already kind of seen them go for some of the style plays, right? The head-on, the firecracker, doing a good job of just really cranking out the generators the way that you needed to here. And that is going to result in what looks like a score of 32-20. So we saw a very impressive 5-set matchup for our first series. We are expecting, I think, to see at least 4 in our second series of the day, but Revolution says, nah, go ahead, watch us do what we do best, and just puts the pedal down to the metal from the word go and getting a decision through only 3 sets.
If you ain't show something, you just don't wanna be. You wanna be me, but you will never be as fresh see you